Hello, water signs, and welcome into your reading for the second half of April, where we'll be taking a look at the energy for jobs and careers, love and relationships, and life path and mission. So there's been a lot of really crazy, kind of heavy energy going on in the last 3 weeks between having the lunar eclipse at the end of March and then Mercury retrograde starting on April 1st, and it's still going on right now. And then we had our big solar eclipse on the 8th, so that was just last week. So it seems like there's been a lot of really big energy going on. So we're going to take a look and see how that's going to impact you for the second half of this month. Mercury is still in retrograde until the 25th, at which time it'll go direct, and then we're still going to be hanging out in that shadow period until about the middle of May. So that'll be kind of lingering. And this is Mercury in retrograde in Aries. So that means kind of watch out for some fighting or some irritation, just kind of that gritty type of energy. Remember, Mercury retrograde has a lot to do with timing being off, communication disruptions, travel disruptions, things like that. But let's start out taking a look at the crystal oracle deck and see if there's anything coming through for you there. So this is halo gold, dead sea salt, platinum, and iron. So those are in this deck. Some of them are elements that, some of them it'll be like elemental balance or ascended master, but some of them will be things like actual, ones to work with, like quartz. So this was your card, and it's 44 is the number on it. And remember, your fours are going to be about stability, like creating that stability. And the message here is enthusiasm, spontaneity, and protection. So as we get into the second half of the month, think about that from the perspective of where could you afford to be a little bit more spontaneous, kind of letting that enthusiasm for life, for new adventures, for hobbies, for self-development, letting all of that come through while still having that feeling of protection. So we are going to dive in and take a look at the energy for water signs in general, and then I'm going to go sign grouping or individual sign by individual sign and get some further messages there. So some of the big energy that we have going on the 19th, the sun enters Taurus. So that's going to be about grounding and improving your stability and security. So, 44, so the fours are stability and security. Then on the 20th, we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus, and that's going to be a huge transit. So that's going to have a lot of this energy of innovation and independence and bravery. Like, what is it, kind of this spontaneity and enthusiasm. What is it that you really want to do that you've kind of been being held back? Whether it's outside circumstances, whether it's your fears and uncertainties. And that's something, especially with the eclipse, that kind of, it was helping for a lot of people. It was helping bring things into clarity, into focus a little bit more, because during that moment you have, perfect alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth. And so it gives you that glimpse of here's what things could be. So it's really that energy of embracing change. I'll talk about a few more of them here as we go, but for jobs and careers in the recent past, we've had Ace of Cups, currently sitting in death energy, and the next level of energy being the Seven of Swords. So this Ace of Cups energy, in the recent past, you've had this kind of burst of creativity and inspiration as it comes to jobs and careers and love. Like maybe you were following something that you were passionate about and that you really wanted to go in a certain direction. So that's where you had been, but now it's bringing this sense of an ending. So you're sitting in this energy of death. So that's this big transformation and kind of closing out of an old cycle. And then the next level, though, that's coming in is some lies and deception. So we'll look sign by sign and see what exactly are the lies and deceptions that are coming in. So one of the things that's happening as well, on the 23rd, we have a Scorpio full moon. So full moons, remember, that's about closing out cycles. It's about releasing what's no longer serving you. And this Scorpio full moon is going to be a lot of intense and passionate energy. So it's really pushing you to address something serious that needs to be resolved. So if you were taking, I'll call it kind of this, leap or there's this push for creativity and you felt like that led you to some sort of an ending, you know, what is it that needs to be resolved? Because if there's lying and kind of this deceitful energy coming in, what is it that you're not seeing? So remember that Scorpio full moon is going to be pushing you to focus on things that need to be resolved, maybe things that you've kind of been looking the other way and hoping that they're going to resolve on their own. But all of this big energy from the last few weeks is kind of building, and you know you need to do something about it. The next thing coming in after that on the 29th, we have Venus entering Taurus, and that's about improving stability and security within your relationships. So let's take a look now then at what is going on love and relationship wise for our water signs. In the recent past, we've had King of Pentacles energy, currently sitting in Three of Wands, with Nine of Wands as the next level of energy coming in. So as it relates to your relationships, like love and relationships, we're getting awfully close to those oracle cards over there, so we'll just scoot over. This King of Pentacles energy is this like reliable, secure, kind of stable sort of energy. So again, it seems like stability is a big thing that's coming through for water signs for the second half of this month. So that's where you've been. But then your Three of Wands is a little bit of this sense of like travel and growth. Sometimes it has almost a little bit of this air of like moving on type of energy. And then the future energy for your relationship is kind of this persistence, like this resilience, and you're making a stand. So it's kind of like you feel like you have to put in a lot of effort. Stability is a good thing, but it could also be that maybe there's a little bit of a sense of boredom. And so you're trying to figure out like, okay, well, what can we do that would be different, and so we'll get some clarification on what exactly you're taking a stand about. So let's do that in general for the water signs, and we'll see how that matches up with each individual sign. The Lovers. So as it relates to love and relationships, the Lovers card is about that divine connection. It's about uniting the masculine and feminine energies. It's this, it can also be about major decisions. The Lovers also represents Gemini. So, because that's a 6 card, so it represents the twins and it represents, communication. So you're taking a stand to say, yes, this is what I want. So that's a beautiful energy there on the love and relationship side. And then the very last, I'll call it planetary or issue or transit, is on the 30th, you have Mars entering Aries. And so that's going to put Mars in its home sign, which means it's going to be extra strong. Like the energy there, is going to be extra strong. And so that's about getting excited about new beginnings and about taking the initiative for what you want and to make things happen. So as it relates to this, if there was kind of this sense of, are things getting boring and you have to make a stand, you are making a stand. Like you want to make things happen. You want to take that initiative to get what you want. For life path and mission, in the recent past, we've had the Devil energy, currently sitting in the Knight of Cups energy, with the next level of energy being 6 of Wands in reverse. So the Devil energy is, you've been trying to figure out what is your life path, what is your mission here, and you've really felt like you've been being pulled off of that. Or actually, maybe you're not actively aware that there's outside energy interfering, but there's definitely a sense of interference with you being on your life path. That's what the Devil energy is. So it's going to be things like addictions, whether it's to drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, whatever. It can be 3D things like that. It can also be thought processes or behavioral patterns. So it could be laziness, it could be procrastination, it could be, those types of energies that are keeping you from living your highest good. It can also be the self-defeating thoughts, like self-deprecating thoughts, self-sabotage, things like that. The current energy for you is this Knight of Cups. So it's a little bit of this, it has to do with like artistry and negotiation, but it's almost, because of the way it's coming out in here, it's almost like, well, yeah, I've kind of been kept off my life path, but maybe there's a way that I can still keep holding on to these vices and still be on my life path. So it's almost like you're trying to negotiate with the universe of, can I still continue to indulge in this energy and get what I want? And the universe is saying, no, you cannot. Like, that's a very clear message there. Oh, here, let me slide this under here so that you can see the card a little bit better, since we have a lot of glare going on right now. So sometimes I'll just pop those under there. So I think the answer to that is, if you're trying to sit here and negotiate with the universe of, well, how can I get everything I want? How can I still keep indulging in this devil behavior and still get what I want? The universe is saying no. So your Six of Wands in the reverse is a sense of disappointment, but it also has this feeling of disgrace with it as well. So it's kind of like, if you continue down this path, there's going to be something bad, like something embarrassing or shameful, certainly some disappointment. But I think things are not going to pan out the way you want if you're not able to break free from that energy. So that's the overall energy that's coming out for all of the water signs. Now we'll take a look at the individual signs. And, if you've been feeling overwhelmed by some of this big energy, there's a little bit of a reprieve coming, because in early March we have Pluto. It will be retrograde in Aquarius, and that's going to be a slowing down of some of these intense transformations that have been going on. So if you've been feeling just like, oh my gosh, when is there going to be a little bit of a let up in this energy, it's going to be coming in early May. So let's go ahead, we'll pull some cards here and see what else wants to come through. So water signs, first one up will be Cancer. Let's take a look at jobs and careers, what wants to come through. We have Queen of Swords. And then we have Judgment in reverse. So the Queen of Swords energy, that's kind of like cutting through all of the BS. So it's that independence, that kind of like independent thought, being open-minded, being perceptive, and really kind of seeing things for what they are. So it's, it's cutting away all of the BS that's going on. If you had this new creative idea and you were trying to move towards it, and then you felt like something's coming to an end and there's this lies and deceit, the Queen of Swords cuts through all of that. Whatever energy is coming in, whoever is deceiving you or whatever situation is deceiving you, the Queen of Swords looks straight at that and says, okay, I'm going to call you out on that. Because if you don't, there's this energy of Judgment in reverse, which that's about kind of doubt, and you're, a failure to learn from the past, and you're ignoring the chance to do something about it. So with this in the past, your cycle may have been, if somebody's trying to pull something over on you, you don't want to make a scene at work. You don't want to feel uncomfortable calling somebody out if you think maybe they're being dishonest about something. And so that had kept you looping. But now with this Queen of Swords energy coming in, it's like, no. This is how you're going to break out of this cycle of feeling like things aren't working out for you at work, and that, you're kind of on the short end of things in terms of getting those opportunities or advancements. So let's take a look and see, timing wise, maybe, for Cancer, what wants to come through, like when does this Queen of Swords, getting that clarity and cutting through all of that nonsense, like when does that look like it's coming through for you at the most inopportune time? So if you have that moment of clarity, it's almost like things are going to get worse, and then all of a sudden, maybe it's something where like you're in a meeting and everything just clicks, and it's like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what has happened here. And then you're going to be in that position of, ooh, do I say something? Do I say something like in front of all these people, or like right when you're on the brink of landing a new account or launching a new product, or, whatever the case may be. So you're going to have that clarity, but it's, be prepared. It might be coming at not a great time for you. All right, now let's take a look at love and relationships and see what wants to come through for you, Cancer. All right. Oh, 10 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. So, there is this, there's a lot of Wands energy here for you, and your Wands, that's going to be, kind of that spirit type of energy. And so your 7 of Wands has that stamina and perseverance and kind of self-assertiveness, which is the same, pretty similar to this 9 of Wands energy. But you also do have this element of, oh, this is just, exhausting, and feeling like you're overburdened and you're really struggling, struggling to keep this connection balanced, to keep it in line. And so, something to consider is, how can you bring some spontaneity and enthusiasm into the picture? Let's pull a card and see what advice is coming through here for Cancer on how to overcome this feeling of being overburdened and overstressed about the situation here. Justice in reverse. So there's some imbalance that's going on. And so Justice in reverse is about, avoiding responsibilities and kind of some broken promises, and maybe a little bit of this sense of abuse of power. So you may be in a situation that in the recent past you were thinking it was this King of Pentacles, you were thinking it was this very secure, reliable energy, but there was an imbalance there. And so then that's what was creating this sense of, am I outgrowing this relationship? Do I need to travel, get some space and think about it? Because the Lovers is also a decision card too. So if things have been out of balance, in order to bring down your sense of struggle, and it also has some like responsibility, like you're just overburdened, like, oh my gosh, why do I have to carry all 10 of these wands myself? Bringing it into balance and communicating, since the Lovers is about, Gemini and communication, it's really pushing for that communication to be able to try to bring it into balance, and having that feeling of, yes, I'm protected, I can use my voice. And let's see from a timing perspective, when does it look like balance may be restored here? Once you can forgive them. So it could, depending on how things are playing within your specific scenario, are you carrying too much of the burden because you aren't forgiving them? If they made a mistake in something, are you holding that over their head that, well, I'm not going to trust you to do this within our relationship because last time I trusted you to do this, it didn't work out. So, choose whatever example. Maybe you had trusted them to pay, take care of the finances and pay things within your relationship, and they overspent, or they forgot to make payments, and it caused some financial struggles and some stress and some, things like that for you. And maybe you haven't forgiven them for that. So it's like, fine, I'm just going to do all of it myself because I can't trust you to do it. Are you still holding something over their head that you need to forgive them for, so that way they can be fully participating in the relationship to be able to help bring balance in there? So that is our love and relationship line. Let's take a look here at life path and mission for Cancer, and then we'll pull some of these oracle cards. All right. We've got the 8 of Wands, so some fast-moving energy, and then King of Cups in reverse. So a sense of manipulation and worry and stress. So, because you're trying to negotiate and figure out, hey, is there a way that I can still bring everything into alignment without having to address the 800-pound gorilla in the room, there's going to be, very quickly, you're going to get this sense of like, okay, I'm being manipulated. And now you're worried and you're stressed out about this situation because you haven't dealt with the devil energy yet. And some of this, worry and stress, those are signs of devil energy because you're not in alignment. When you're in alignment, you don't live in that energy of worry and stress. So let's take a look here at, pull a Gaia card, see what message wants to come through there. Ocean of eternal love, healing, creativity, and fertility. So with this healing, if there's something that you have not yet forgiven them from, working on that healing, some of it's also about forgiving yourself as well. So make sure that you're doing that, and allow the creativity to come in. And that's going to be this enthusiasm and spontaneity. So some of it is a matter of, don't take everything so seriously. If you are able to kind of take a step back and look at this, that, this is I'm here in this incarnation because I'm here to learn lessons, and I'm here to grow, and I'm here to evolve. If you're able to see your life in that context, sometimes that makes it less scary, in terms of making changes and doing what feels right for your soul and for your alignment. And then we have honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So again, letting go of control issues. If you are sitting there in this energy of, allowing things to be imbalanced because you're trying to control everything, you need to let go of some of that, because that will allow your partner room to step in and do more, so that you're not quite as burned out. If you're doing all of the work because you think, I have to do that, you're not really giving them any opportunity. If they have to sit there and fight you and push you out of the way to do things, they're probably just going to be like, all right, well, I'll just let them do it. All right. And this one, look for the beauty in the rain. And we'll pull one more. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment. So we used to say that at work a lot. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean that it's getting you any closer to what it is that you want. So there's some great messages about that it's some of the healing work that you're doing. Make sure that it's, and like meditations and all of that, make sure that you're doing it and you're trying to incorporate certain lessons and you're trying to move yourself forward. So just because you're busy doing things doesn't mean you're actually getting any closer to where you're aspiring to go. And then this look for the beauty in the rain. Again, if you can kind of step back and say, what is my reason for being here? You can see the beauty in everything that's going on around you. Like, this is really tough, but it's a lesson. This is a lesson. Can I let go of whatever this devil energy is, so that I can have this abundance come in, so that I can have these blessings come in. So that is the message for Cancer. I hope that you found this to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. I will be doing a twin flame reading probably tomorrow. I need to get through one more set of some of these reads for the second half of the month, and then I'll also be doing like a pick a pile reading. So if those are things that are of interest, make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you can be alerted as to when those post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy in the second half of the month. All right, now we are on to Scorpio. So let's see what all messages are planning to come through for Scorpio. The full moon later this month on the 23rd is in your sign. So this is going to be extra energetic and I guess extra intense for you. So remember that Scorpio full moon, it's intense and passionate energy. So this full moon is going to be the one that's pushing you to address something really serious that needs to be resolved. So what is it that you keep holding on to that really needs to be let go so that you can move into your highest good? I'd say there's a pretty good chance it's whatever this devil energy is that's keeping you from your life path, that's what needs to be released so that you can, live on your highest path. So jobs and careers, you have the devil in reverse, and then you have the Two of Pentacles energy. So this energy up here, this feeling like this incoming energy of lies and deceit, and there's kind of this sense of like cheating at work. Maybe you become aware of like people, like coworkers of yours that are kind of breaking the rules for gain, and they're trying to get you in on it, or whatever the case may be. Like if you've seen, for whatever reason, this just came into my mind. If you've seen the movie The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino, where it's like he thinks, oh, this is great. And then as he goes to New York and starts to work with the partners in the law firm and see it for what it really is, it's like, whoa, no, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So the incoming energy for you, you're weighing these decisions like, okay, it's, juggling this priority of, do I really want to, I'll put it this way, sacrifice your soul for staying in this scenario? Like, do you want to do that but get maybe some of the financial rewards, or do you want to stay true to yourself and potentially forego the financial rewards? And so I'm not saying that you are giving up the financial aspect of it, because when you're in alignment and when you're in abundance mindset, that's not going to be as much of an issue. So, it's kind of that whole thing of, with this Ace of Cups, with this creativity and this inspiration, and this is what I want to do, this is the direction I want to go. Are you going to stay true to that, or are you going to get sucked back into whatever dynamic is maybe keeping you off your life path but giving you a sense of security? So that's what that devil in reverse energy is about. It's about breaking free from this sort of energy so that you can follow that passion. And let's see, let's pull a timing card. When does it look like our Scorpio is able to break free? That devil in reverse. When are they able to kind of get that independence from this deceitful energy? Once the lesson has been learned. So a lot of that is going to be the lesson of being true to yourself and prioritizing your soul growth, your alignment, your development. Also, remember, right now, North Node is in Aries, and that is about being unapologetically you. It's standing in your truth. It's having that healthy level of selfishness. I put my oxygen mask on first before helping those around me. And so that sometimes is a tough lesson for people, because they always want to help everybody else, but you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself in order to keep you in a position where you can continue to help others. All right, so let's take a look now at love and relationships for Scorpio. We have our Eight of Cups in reverse, and we have the Hierophant in reverse. So our Eight of Cups in reverse is you're feeling stuck, and you're avoiding making a change, because you're kind of scared. What does that look like if I break free from that? So if the Lover's card is representing a choice that you have to make, it's, you feeling stuck, like, okay, the universe tells me there's a choice here, but I really don't feel like there is a choice here. And the Hierophant in reverse is about freedom, and it's about breaking the rules, and it's about your personal belief and thinking outside of the box. So you may be feeling stuck because in your situation you feel like, well, there really isn't a choice, and I'll just throw this out there. For some people, they may have grown up in a family where divorce was not an option. Like that's just, culturally, it's not appropriate for them. Family dynamics, family history, that's not appropriate for them. Um, or there could be other things like you have to date and marry certain types of people based on whatever criteria your family, your group thinks is important. And so this can be about, feeling like you're stuck, like you're having to choose between love and what's in your heart and having to have like following that versus doing what other people expect of you. And so this Eight of Cups in reverse is really representing feeling stuck and you're avoiding making a change. Like you don't want to upset the apple cart, but breaking free is also part of that energy of how do you break free, for one, of feeling stuck in the rut. But let's see what other messages maybe are coming through here. What is the advice from Spirit on how to break free from feeling stuck? That is our Nine of Wands in reverse. So that's kind of this exhaustion. So at some point, you're going to get so exhausted that you're not going to have any other choices. Like almost like you've been stripped down to the, to the bare bones type of thing there. So let's see though, when some of this, I'll call it thinking outside of the box, like when does that come in? Because a lot of this, it's this resilient, because you have your Nine of Wands here and then you have your Nine of Wands in reverse. So when does that energy break? That sense of having to, persevere and feeling stuck. Like when does that break for Scorpio? In the fall. So there's a little ways still. So between now and then, and one of the things as well with tarot, if you looked at that and your heart sank and you're like, oh, I have to keep dealing with this all the way until the fall, by simply shifting your focus and looking at things differently, you can affect this. So based on the energy today of, well, I'm just going to keep making a stand, I'm just going to keep, trudging through the mud here, energetically, it's not going to shift until the fall. If by watching this, you have one of those aha moments or something else in your life leads you to an aha moment, it can change the timing of that. So be mindful of that as well. And like I was saying, on the 23rd, that Scorpio full moon, that might give you that burst of energy that you need to be able to address some of these situations. All right, life path and mission, your Two of Swords energy, and your Three of Cups. So your Two of Swords energy is feeling like you have this sort of sense of split loyalties and this decision to make. Now, with Two of Swords, it's also like there's an element of, there's a truth that you don't want to see. Because when you look at this card, and in the traditional deck as well, the dog is blindfolded. So there's a certain sense of, kind of like turning a blind eye to it. Like, that you have to make a decision, but you kind of don't really want to. And you're in, so there is a sense of denial, like you're closing your eyes. You don't want to see it. But there is this opportunity for collaboration. Like your Three of Cups is this celebration and this friendship, this community type of a feel. So if you're able to move past that and actually make this decision and make this split, you're going to get some of this, happier type of energy, this like celebration energy. So that's something, it'll help with some of that enthusiasm and spontaneity if you can break free from this. And it's almost coming through like they're like an addiction that you've been struggling with, that you really need to kick it, and that there will be like a celebration. So for you, it's reading more so that it's I'll call it a 3D, a visible type of addiction, whether it's drinking, sex, gambling, shopping, eating, maybe not eating, exercising, like whatever that is, that's something that's visible to other people, that when you're able to kick it, there's going to be a big celebration. But some of it can also still be thoughts, and it can be certain recurring patterns in your life. Like, maybe you continually, since this is with life path and mission, you feel like you need to help save everyone. So you end up in situations where you're attached to people that are very draining, that are very needy and clingy and just totally wipe you out, because it's like you have this strong desire to help people. And if you're able to kind of bring that into balance a little bit more, then it'll be that, oh, thank goodness, you're not letting people take advantage of you, as an example. So let's take a look at some oracle cards here. Yin Yang, creating harmony through balance. So this is all about creating that balance, kind of balancing the you versus them mentality. So if you can find balance in whatever your situations are, if this is a decision where you feel like you're stuck, how do you balance your needs against the other person's needs as well? So don't just stay somewhere because, oh, this other person needs me, I can't leave because they need me. But you need you. So make sure you're being true to yourself. Oh, I grabbed two of them. It's safe for you to love, and love yourself first. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, but this is that whole loving yourself first, like I was talking about, that North Node is in Aries, which is about that healthy level of self-love and putting yourself first and not always putting everybody else first. All right, and let's pull another oracle card here. They aren't who you think they are. So in this situation, if we're looking at this line, there's a couple things. So they're saying it's safe for you to love, but if it's that they aren't who you think they are, these people maybe at work that have been lying and deceiving you, since that's the incoming energy, I think there's going to be a situation where it will be revealed to you that somebody, maybe the person who's lying to you, it'll catch you like totally off guard. Then you need to put in more effort. So a lot of this, like the love yourself first. So put in more effort towards yourself, and that will help. It'll help you make that decision, because if you're prioritizing yourself, your health and happiness, then some of these other decisions will become more clear if you're putting yourself first. So I hope that you found this message to be helpful. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. I will be doing a twin flame reading within the next day or two. So if that situation applies to you, make sure to hit the subscribe and notification bell so you can be alerted when that posts. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy in the second half of April. So that was wrapping up for Scorpio. And last of the water signs, we have Pisces. So Pisces, let's see what all messages want to come through for you, for the second half of April. Start with jobs and careers. We have our Two of Wands in reverse, and we have the Strength in reverse. It is funny because most of these cards are coming up in reverse as I'm pulling them out there. So your Two of Wands in reverse is, there's a little bit of like you have this indecision and you're avoiding making a change. So you're sitting in this energy of like rebirth and regeneration, like you have the opportunity to let something go that's not serving you, but you're still stuck in this state of indecision. And with the Strength in reverse coming up, this is kind of like there's this like weakness and like this lack of courage. So it's almost like you know that you need to make this decision, but you just don't want to. And because you're avoiding making the decision, the next level that comes in is going to be this sense of like the lies and cheating and manipulation. So it's almost like, you have this burst of creativity and being compelled to move in a direction that feels more inspirational to you and following those passions. But if you and it's like you're trying to reinvent yourself, but if you can't take that leap to follow through on that, to go in that other direction, it's almost like your current situation acknowledges that, and it's like, oh, well, they don't have the guts to do it. And so then it's like the situation, maybe coworkers or bosses or whatever, they kind of take advantage of you because they don't think that you have the strength or the courage to leave and follow your, what you feel like you're being called to do. So, so that's something. It'll be a matter of needing to stand up and say, no, this is the direction I want to go. So let's pull a timing card and see, when does it look like Pisces will take that step? Right around the corner. So not too much longer. And it could be that lines up with this Scorpio full moon, on the 23rd, because that's really about pushing you to address something that's serious, that needs to be resolved. The card that jumped out as I was shuffling there, we have our 5 of Wands in reverse. So there's this sense of like resolution and peace and finding the solution. Like, what is the solution to that problem? And that solution's right around the corner. All right, let's take a look at love and relationships. Let's see what wants to come through for Pisces. The Star in reverse, and we have our 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Pentacles is this like talent, and you're honing your skills. But with the Star in reverse, that's kind of like this distrust, and you're feeling uninspired, like you have this lack of faith in the relationship. So like you're in this state where you are feeling this energy of you want the relationship to grow, and you want it to to travel, like to move forwards, but there's still this decision that needs to be made, and you're kind of feeling a little bit like uninspired by it, since the Star is in reverse and you don't necessarily know what direction it's going to go, but you do have this perseverance. So what direction does it look like things are going for Pisces, since there's kind of some mixed energy there? The Fool. So that's going to be new beginnings. So this, take this how it resonates. New beginnings, like the Fool card, is taking that leap of faith. It's a new opportunity. It's this lighthearted energy, this new beginning. So if you've kind of been wavering back and forth, like if the Lover's card is this decision of, do I stay, or do I make a change? A change is what is, will help bring things into balance. It'll help alleviate some of this tough, heavier energy. So for some of you, that could be a new beginning, like a new partner. Some of you, it could be a matter of, kind of have some communications, wipe the slate clean, and just start a new chapter in your relationship. All right. And actually, let's pull a card here. When does this new beginning look like it's coming through? Around your birthday. So some exciting new beginning, new opportunity, kind of fresh start around your birthday. Now let's take a look at life path and mission. We have our Knight of Wands, so that's that adventurous, courageous energy, and then we have our nine of Pentacles. It's funny. So this is about independence and reward. Oh my gosh, like look at how sad, and like I can't tell whether this dog looks sad or whether he just looks pissed off. Like it's kind of funny. But your Knight of Wands energy here, that's that like adventurous, courageous, fearless type of energy, and kind of this confidence. So there is an energy for you, Pisces, of some independence and breaking free. Like it's going to take courage and enthusiasm and spontaneity to break free from whatever this devil energy is that's keeping you off your life path. And remember, if you're trying to negotiate and how can I, get the best results here or whatever, you need to be fearless and just jump out there and, do what you need to do to break free from that devil energy. All right, let's pull a few oracle cards for Pisces and see what wants to come through. Oh, healing. Oh, there was two of them. Healing, which is reconnecting with your true nature, and jewel within a teardrop. So that's appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. So some of it could be, if you're looking at it here, whatever needs to be healed in order for you to be able to have that reconnection. So it kind of feels like maybe it's related to just a fresh start, like new chapter for you. But let's pull a romance oracle card and see. Oh, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Let's pull one more. Unrequited love. So there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And so this looks like it is a situation where this new beginning, it's a fresh new beginning for you. And like freeing yourself from being in a situation where you have unrequited love. So that's what it looks like is coming through for Pisces. Oh, and make sure you're sharing your energy intentionally. And I really like this card because it's a matter of it, if this is going here with this unrequited love, if you're continually sharing your good energy with somebody who's not appreciative, not reciprocating, not sharing any good energy back with you, then why are you doing it? You're just essentially pouring out your energy with no return. And so the whole thing with unconditional love is not unconditional acceptance for being unappreciated. So you can love somebody unconditionally, but that doesn't mean that they get to treat you in hurtful, disrespectful ways or neglectful ways. So make sure that you're sharing your energy intentionally. In whatever context, in whatever scenarios are presenting themselves in your life. So it's about putting yourself first and making sure that you're protecting your energy. That's a an infinitely valuable resource of yours is your energy. So make sure you're protecting it fiercely, that you're not being taken advantage of from a work situation. You're not letting devil energy, that vampire suck that energy away from you. Really focus it on yourself, on your healing, on your development. So Pisces, I hope that you found this message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. I will be doing a twin flame reading at probably tomorrow, maybe the next day, as well as like the pick a pile readings and things like that. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell to be alerted when those new videos post to the channel. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy in the second half of April.